Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a unique content signature using Capcut. So whether you're a video editor looking to create a new editing style for your clients, or if you want to create content for yourself and want to have a unique content style, this video is going to be helpful for you. So first, we will be learning how to gather the right information before we start editing. Second, I'm going to show you how to create the template with a unique style. And then as a bonus step, I'm going to show you how you can create highly engaging and viral captions for your videos as well. Okay guys, so let's start with having the right information, because I believe having the right information is essential before you start editing for a client, before you start editing for yourself, and before you start creating a unique editing signature. So here we have a couple questions. These are questions that I ask to my clients whenever we are on the first call, right? Just discovering what's their goal with their content, discovering what's the style of content that they want, so I can resonate with it, I can visualize it, and I can see if I can actually deliver on it. Not only that, but asking things like the style of content helps me have an idea of what they want in their edits, things like overlays, icons, backgrounds, animations, and that also helps me set a price for the project. So another question is being transparent, being honest, and hey, what's your budget, right? What's the budget for the project? So I can see which, style of edits I can do for you to make it fit with the budget that you have. And we also have these questions that are more about the details of the brand, okay? Things like brand colors, the font styles, things like logos that you can use in the videos as well. And if they already have like b-rolls, clips, and backgrounds, that's amazing, because that's stuff that you can add to the edits as well. If they don't, then you start creating those for them. Okay, so once we have these questions clear, now we can move on to the next step, which is creating a Google Drive for the client, just to have all the information and everything. Let me actually show you what I mean by that. So I actually created this Drive folder for one of my clients, and as you guys can see, I created a folder for the raw videos. So here is where my client can upload all the videos that I'm going to be editing, and then on edited reels I upload all the edited videos. If you're wondering how to share this with your client, you just click here, click on share, and then you share it to the email that your client provides. Apart from that, you can also create a document with all your clients' information, things like the email, their Instagram page, their website. So with that being said, guys, now we understand how to organize pretty much everything, how to have the right information to start creating the editing signature. Now we can move on and start creating the template for the client, the template that we're going to be using to edit all the videos from now on. Okay guys, so now we're going to be creating the template for our client, and we're going to be adding things like backgrounds, some text with the text that we're going to be using on their videos, overlays, and also like some sound effects. I have talked about how to create templates on Capcut on my previous videos and even on my free Capcut course. But for this video, it is going to be slightly different, because we're going to be creating a template for a client. So we're going to be creating a new project here, and you want to name it as the name of your client. Okay, so Isaac. In this video, I'm going to be using Isaac, my client, as an example in order to create the whole template and for this whole tutorial. So Isaac template. All right. And now we're going to be adding the things, okay, the backgrounds and everything here to the timeline. In order to do that, we need the assets, okay? So I'm going to import the assets, but before I do that, I know some of you guys don't have assets, okay, for video editing. So that's why I have created the basic video editing assets for free. Here you can find things like backgrounds, video effects, sound effects. And I have also created the full pack of video editing assets. Obviously, you have more things to play around with a full pack of video editing assets. So I just created these two resources in case you guys want to use it in order to create amazing editing signatures. With that being said, let me go ahead and just import the full pack of video editing assets. As you guys can see, I have both of them. I'm going to be using the full pack for this tutorial. Okay, so here we have it, and now I'm going to click on it. And the first thing that I'm going to add is backgrounds, okay? Now, on the free assets and the full pack of video editing assets, we have a lot of backgrounds. Ideally, you don't want to use a lot of backgrounds. If you want to keep the branding style, you want to use anywhere from 3 to 5 backgrounds that relate to the brand. So I know we have a lot of backgrounds here, and it is not bad if you want to use a lot of backgrounds. Just keep in mind that the less backgrounds you use, the more you will keep the branding of the videos. So for example, I'm gonna be using some grid here. So this grid, I'm gonna just drag and drop it here to the timeline. I'm also gonna be using another background, which is the graded one here, and there you go. Okay, so now I have two backgrounds to play around with, and the first one, I'm just going to leave it like that. Maybe I'm gonna decrease it to 5 seconds here, just to keep it at 5 seconds. And then this one is blue. Okay, and I've noticed that a lot of people are using this one, some editors and stuff like that, and that's fine. That's why I'm gonna play around with the color. Okay, so that's one thing that you can do. You can use the same background, but you can play around with the color. I'm just gonna change it to that one, and there you go. You can also, guys, play around with some curves here in case you want to just, you know, play a little bit more around with the color. You can make it black. You can, you know, just, you know, make these things here, make it red, and you can play around with this, just you know, just to change the color a little bit. Okay, as you guys can see, but I'm just gonna leave it like the original one. Okay, there's one more thing that I want to do. Okay, I want to add a background based on the brand color of my client. So in order to do that, I'm gonna go here to Canva, and I'm gonna be creating a background for my clients, again based on the brand color. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna change the color. But before I do that, I wanted to show you guys something here. So I created a folder for my client, so it's Isaac, and here on this folder I just, you know, add all the things that I'm gonna need in order to edit his videos. So as you guys can see, I put his logo here, and I also made some notes. So I have the font style, and I also have the brand colors. As you guys can see, he sent me the black one, which is the normal black, and then a golden one, which is this code here. So I'm gonna take this code, and I'm gonna go back to Canva here, and then I'm gonna select this one here and change the color of it, and change here the code, and there you go. Now we have the color, one of the brand colors of my client, and I can go ahead and download that as a background. So I'm gonna just check here MP4 and just this one page and go ahead and download it. Okay, perfect, guys. So it has been downloaded, and if I go back here to downloads folder, then there you go. Okay, so basically what I'm gonna do is just change the name to Isaac, you know, golden background maybe, and then I'm gonna move that to my clients folder, and then just copy and paste it here. Okay, again, these are samples that I made for him just to send him and have his opinion. This is something that I have created before this video, and I'm going to show you guys how to actually make these backgrounds that you see here. So this one, and also this one as well. Okay, so those are just two of the backgrounds that I created for him, and before I actually started editing and everything, I sent these two to him just to have his confirmation, and then once I have the green light, I can start editing. Okay, so let's actually see how to do that. Let me minimize this all here and go back to Capcut. Okay, so here we have it. So what I'm gonna do is just go ahead on backgrounds and import the background that I just created for my client. So it's gonna be this one, and then I'm gonna drag and drop it here to the timeline. Then what I want to do is I want to duplicate this one. And by the way, you guys can get creative with this. I'm gonna be using this one just for the example of this video. So what I'm gonna do, and here is where the magic happens when it comes to creating your own backgrounds, is that you can play around with the opacity, for example. So I want to leave it at 50% maybe, and I also want to mask it. Okay, so I'm gonna just drag this here and make it here maybe, and then there you go. Okay, for this background that we just created, I'm gonna go here to adjustment and play with this little option here. As you guys can see, you can make it white or, you know, a little bit dark here, and that's what I'm gonna be doing. So maybe 20 is fine, and I return here, and there you go, guys. Now we have a unique background for my client with one of his brand colors. Okay, now in addition to that, I can go ahead and import his logo. So I have here the transparent logo, and I can drag and drop it here. So now I'm just gonna keep it on the center, and I'm going to decrease the opacity of it. Like, I don't want this to overlap with any icons or anything like that, so I'm gonna just keep it at 20% maybe. Let me see how that looks like, it looks good. Okay, so we can keep it there, and there you go. We now have a background. What I can do now is I can select these three and right click and create a compound clip. There you go. Now we have a total different background with one of his brand colors. Keep in mind, I can go ahead and do the same for this one, so I can drag and drop this in here, just make it smaller and decrease the opacity of that one as well. So this one can be 8%. So again, it doesn't affect any text that we use or any icons or even the captions. We want to decrease it a little bit more maybe. And there you go. Okay, now we can create also a compound clip of this, and we have it there. And again, if you want, like, this is not necessary, but honestly I'm just going to create this for you know, all of his backgrounds, just to have the branding there. And there you go, guys, we now have the backgrounds. Okay, next thing that I'm gonna do is just go ahead and drag and drop some text here. So sometimes I use hooks for my clients, but this is not necessary. Again, my client asked me like, hey, if you can do like some sort of hook at the very beginning, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And remember, guys, that for this client we have the Montserrat, you know, font style. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change that to Montserrat. There you go, we have it. And what I also do is create, or just, you know, write his name there, and there you go. Okay, so this is gonna be the font for the hooks. Okay, but I also want to create a hook for the titles that we're going to be using through the video, and also some subtitles. And I'm also going to drag and drop this default text here, just make it smaller just to fit the background there. And then I'm going to change also the font style. Okay, now for this client, the one that I chose is the modern one, so I'm gonna select that one and just write here title. Okay, so that's gonna be the title for, you know, whenever we introduced you know, a title on a background or something like that. Now we have it ready on the timeline. Okay, so I can copy and paste that, and I can also reuse this and just change and apply some effect, because I also want this effect for my client. The title, he's about fitness, so we are building like a, you know, fitness editing signature here. I like it, and you know, it's the same font, just we're just playing different with it. Okay, so we have the hook, we have 3 backgrounds now, and we also have the titles and stuff like that. Now what I want to show you guys is how to add the overlays. So basically in the full pack you have a lot of overlays that you can play with, and honestly I just go ahead and choose like one, maybe this one, or maybe this one. I drag and, you know, drop it here. And remember, this template is going to be for reels. Okay, so we need to choose these dimensions here, and there you go, we have them. And now I want to rotate this and just make it fit to the screen, and select here the blend mode to screen, and there you go. Okay, we have now an overlay, but I honestly like to use more overlays. I don't like to use just one, so I'm gonna be adding more overlays here. Okay guys, so as you can see, I added more transitions here. I can add more, but for now I'm just gonna leave it like that. And I also want to add some sound effects as well. Okay, so I'm gonna go here to sound effects, and I have a lot of options here. So for this, I honestly take some time just to go through the sound effects and see what will work for this client. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, guys, is show you the actual template that I built for this client and how it looks like when it is finished. Okay guys, so here we are on the timeline that I created and the template that I created for my client Isaac. This is how it looks like when it's finished, and as you guys can see, I put the hood here and I added another one with the color of my client. Okay, that's something that you can do as well. You can play with that. I added obviously a lot of sound effects that I'm gonna be using on his videos, and I also created this other background here as well with the logo and everything. And I also created like an outro animation here, so this outro is something that I can use in some of his videos, maybe not all of them, maybe some of them. I will actually see, but either way I have it ready here in case I need to use it. So this is what I mean by creating a template for your client. Obviously you can add more things here to your workspace on Capcut. You can add like unique images for your clients, icons that you're going to be using for your clients. Now let's actually move on to the last section of this video, which is adding captions and defining and designing those captions for your clients. Okay guys, so now we're going to be talking about captions, and I'm going to introduce this tool that I use a lot, which is Submagic. It saves me a lot of time on my video editing process, and it also allows me to create a unique style of captions for my clients as well, which I think is amazing. Now, if you want to do it with Capcut, I mentioned how to do it on my previous video on this channel and also on my free Capcut course. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to be showing you how to do it with Submagic, because this tool is the one that has allowed me to define the caption styles for my clients. So for example, my client wanted like Luke Belmar's style of captions with his branding colors. So I went to Submagic and basically I just uploaded one of the reels. Okay, so this one here, okay, this reel is edited but it doesn't have any captions. Okay, so I just drag and drop it here to the tool and I can go ahead and generate the captions. Now really quick guys, Submagic is supporting the channel, and it is also a tool that I have been using for the past months, and it has allowed me to create amazing videos for me and my clients as well. And I also want to show you like the workflow just for you guys to see what you can do with this tool. Okay guys, so as you can see, we have a lot of options here depending on the creator that you want to emulate. But honestly, for this client, he was looking for Luke Belmar type of captions. We also have like Iman Gadzhi, Ali Abdal, and you can play around with this. But just to show you guys, my client wanted like Luke Belmar with his branding colors. I was just amazed by the precision of this tool when it comes to generating the captions. Like, it has so much precision. I tried to do it with Capcut, but honestly, Capcut captions are good, but they were not as precise as the Submagic ones. And also I can select here Luke and I can change the color. So for example, for this client, I just decided to go white as the main color, and then as the second color I can just go ahead and select the code here without the hashtag, copy and paste it here, and there you go, click enter, and now we have the color for my client. And I can select the same for the third color if I want, and there you go. Now if we go back, you can see that some of the captions actually are applying the branding color of my client. So I just think it is a very helpful tool. I wanted to show you guys because a lot of clients ask for these type of captions for their edits. Okay, and an amazing way to do it is by going on Submagic and actually playing around with it. You can also edit the theme, so you can change the size, you can change colors, the stroke, and just can play around with it. And you can also go to captions here, and for example on the hook, if I played and I don't want captions while I'm showing the hook, so I can just go ahead and hide them here, and so those captions won't appear as the hook appears. Okay, so maybe here and maybe until here. Okay, so if we actually play it, and let's actually go to the very first beginning of the video and play it.
Excuse me, sir, and you're looking pretty fit. I just want to ask you, what keeps you going? What's your why?
Well, I'm doing it. Like, look, I'm constantly trying to lose some weight, man.
And there you go. So I actually went through the captions while I was editing this clip, and again, the precision was really on point. It just saved me a lot of time. You can save the video here with the captions, okay, and then you can just export it you know, at the whatever quality that you want, and go ahead and export it, and the project will start exporting. So yeah guys, I just wanted to quickly show you the process of how to create an editing signature for either your client or yourself, how to create the templates, how to create and add the overlays and sound effects. And also I wanted, you know, as an option to show you guys, if you're looking for something, if you're looking for precision when it comes to captions, you can use Capcut. It works well, but sometimes, you know, it is not as precise. So you want to maybe use another tool like Submagic, and that's why I wanted to share that with you guys in this video. With that being said, that's everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it is helpful for you to start having some creative ideas that you can use for your own, to start using for your clients. And yeah, that would be it for this video. Leave on the comments if you have any questions or you want like other video ideas around this, and see you on the next video.